Rain poured over the steel docks of the alien harbor, turning the floor into a mirror of gray light. Two small figures stood under a broken cargo crane, shivering, their torn blankets wrapped tight around them. The twins couldn't be more than 8 years old, their faces thin, their silver-gray eyes glowing faintly in the dark. They were not human, but not fully alien either, a mix that made most people avoid them. The taller one, Lyra, held her brother's hand. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "Our mama's still on the ship." Her brother, Keo, looked up at the giant transport vessel that floated above the waterline, its hull glowing with blue reactor veins. "They said everyone inside was gone," he murmured. "They lied," Lyra said, her voice small but certain. A huge shadow moved near the loading gate. The sound of metal claws clicking echoed through the mist. The guard dog unit emerged. Half beast, half machine, taller than a man. With eyes that burned red through the fog, its sensors scanned the area. Steam hissing from its joints, the children froze, even their breath trembling in the cold air. "Unauthorized life forms detected," the dog growled. Its voice was deep and rough. The light from its optics swept over the twins, then locked onto them. "Step back from the restricted zone." Lyra pulled Keo closer, whispering, "Don't move, it can smell fear." Keo's eyes filled with tears. "It's going to take us too," he said from across the dock. A human worker noticed them. His name was Cole, a maintenance man with grease-stained hands and tired eyes. He had been repairing a loader arm near the ship's engines when he saw the children hiding in the shadows. Cole had seen refugees before, desperate kids begging for scraps or trying to sneak onto cargo shuttles. But something about these two felt different. They weren't running for food, they were waiting for someone. He watched as the guard dog advanced, steam rising around its legs. The children didn't run, Lyra just stood there, her eyes fixed on the ship. "Mama will come back," she said, as if saying it could make it real. The dog crouched, its claws scraping against metal, ready to lunge. Cole dropped his wrench and ran forward. "Hey!" he shouted. His voice echoed against the metal walls. The dog's sensors turned toward him, locking onto his ID badge. "Worker Unit 83. This area is restricted," it warned. "Leave or be restrained." Cole didn't stop. He grabbed a metal pipe from the ground and swung it at the floor, the clang echoing like thunder. "They're just kids, back off," he yelled. The dog tilted its head, analyzing. The red lights flickered for a moment, as if confused. Then it turned back toward the children. Lyra whispered something in a language Cole didn't understand. The dog froze, its metal body stiffening. Steam hissed from its sides as if it was in pain, its voice crackled. "Voice pattern." Recognized, Cole stopped in disbelief. The children stared, equally shocked. The dog backed away, lowering its head slightly. For a moment, its glowing eyes turned blue instead of red. Lyra took a cautious step forward. Her brother clutched her arm. "It remembers Mama," he whispered. The rain drummed harder against the deck, drowning out the noise of engines. Cole approached them slowly. "Who's your mother?" he asked. Lyra looked at him with wet eyes. "She was taken on that ship," she said, pointing to the massive transport. "They said she would come back, but it left without her." Cole frowned. He knew the ship's name. The Solara, a vessel marked for dismantling after the war. No one was supposed to be on board anymore. Before he could ask more, a siren wailed. The cargo gates began to close, bright orange lights flashing. The ship was preparing to lift off again, Lyra gasped. "They're taking her away," she cried. The guard dog growled, its voice glitching. "Evacuation. Prohibited." Cole looked from the kids to the ship, and something in his chest twisted. He couldn't just walk away. "Come with me," he said. "We'll figure this out." He picked up Keo and motioned for Lyra to follow. The dog blocked their path again. Growling louder, Cole stood his ground. "You want to stop me?" he shouted, raising the pipe. The dog stared at him, its red eyes flickering between colors again. Blue light pulsed faintly from inside its chest, almost like a heartbeat. Lyra stepped forward and placed her small hand on the dog's metal paw. "Please," she whispered. "Mama made you to protect us." The rain slowed, and for the first time the great machine lowered its head. Letting them pass, Cole stood frozen. The children walked past the guard like it was an old friend. The glowing ship loomed ahead, lightning flashing behind it. The engines started to hum, shaking the ground. The twins turned back to Cole, their eyes glowing softly. "She's still inside," Lyra said. Cole looked up at the ship's hull, unsure what to believe, but when the wind shifted, He thought he heard a woman's faint voice carried through the rain, whispering something that made his heart stop. His name. Cole stared at the children, then back at the rising ship and whispered to himself, "What are you two hiding?" The night sky thundered as the Solara's lights began to glow brighter, and deep inside something old and alive seemed to stir once more. The storm had eased, but the air still smelled of metal and fuel. Cole stood under the cracked hangar roof, watching the twin children crouch near an old cargo crate. The guard dog sat a few steps away, silent now, its red eyes dimmed to a soft blue. It almost looked peaceful. Cole rubbed his hands together to fight the cold. He had stayed behind long after his shift ended, something he had never done before. He told himself he was only making sure the kids didn't freeze, but deep down he knew there was more to it. He had seen their faces, the same look he once saw in the mirror after the human evacuation ended. Loss and stubborn hope mixed together. "You two need to tell me the truth," Cole said gently. He knelt so he wouldn't tower over them. "Who is your mother, really? Why does that thing—" He nodded toward the silent guard dog. "Listen to you?" Lyra hugged her knees, her voice soft. "She worked on ships. She fixed things like you do," Keo added quickly. "But the soldiers took her to the Solara, said they needed her for something important." Cole frowned. The Solara wasn't a repair ship. It was an old war cruiser, gutted after the peace treaty. Nobody went there anymore, unless they were hiding something. "And you think she's still there?" he asked. The twins nodded together. "We can hear her," Lyra whispered. "Sometimes, when the wind blows from the shipyard." "She calls our names," Cole wanted to argue, to tell them that was impossible. But the memory of the voice in the rain made him stop. He had heard something, too. The guard dog suddenly stood, its sensors flashing. "Patrol approaching," it said. The heavy thud of boots echoed from the far end of the dock. Alien soldiers in gray armor appeared, their rifles glowing with plasma cores. "Inspection round Sector 9. One shouted. Cole's heart pounded. If they saw the kids, they would take them away for sure. "Inside," he hissed, pushing open a broken vent hatch. The twins crawled inside without a sound. The dog stepped back into the shadows. Its eyes fading to black, Cole turned toward the soldiers, pretending to work on the damaged loader arm. "Worker," one of the aliens barked. "What are you doing here?" "Shift's over." Cole forced a tired smile. The arm jammed again. "If this thing fails tomorrow, your supply crates won't lift," the alien grunted, scanning him with a visor beam. "Always breaking. These human machines," it muttered. After a moment, they walked past, their heavy steps fading into the storm. Cole exhaled, sweat running down his neck despite the cold. He turned back to the vent. "It's clear." The twins crawled out, Lyra clutching something shiny, a metal pendant shaped like a wing. "It's hers," she said. "Mama dropped it when they took her." Cole recognized the tag. It was an engineer's ID token, but the serial code. It belonged to someone classified, someone who had access to ship AI cores. The guard dog's voice rumbled again. "Directive, protect asset, return to vessel." Cole stared at it. "Asset?" he repeated. "You mean the mother?" The dog tilted its head, mechanical joints creaking. "Asset designation, Captain Alera, status unknown," Lyra gasped. "That's Mama's name." Cole stood slowly, realization hitting him. "Your mother was the captain of the Solara?" he whispered. "They told everyone she died when the reactor collapsed." Lyra shook her head hard. "She's not dead," she said. "We can feel her." She told us to come back, for a long moment. Only the rain and the hum of distant engines filled the air. Then Cole spoke, his voice rough. "If what you're saying is true, she's trapped in there. And if those patrols find you before you reach her, you'll never get close." He turned to the dog. "You still have clearance codes?" The mechanical beast whirred, processing. "Access level, restricted but active," it replied. Cole grabbed his coat. "Then we're going," he said. The children's eyes widened. "You'll help us?" Cole sighed. "I don't know what I'm doing, kid, but I can't let you go alone." They moved through the cargo lanes under the cover of darkness, Cole leading with a dim torchlight. The guard dog padded beside them, each step heavy but silent. Its sensors cut through the fog like a lighthouse beam. At the end of the dock, the massive shadow of the Solara loomed over the water. The ship looked like a sleeping beast, scarred and ancient, whole sections of it sealed with rust and ice. The air shimmered with reactor radiation. "She's in there," Lyra whispered. The guard dog crouched, scanning the hull. Entry point detected, maintenance hatch. Subdeck 7, Cole frowned. That's underwater. He turned toward the twins. You can't go through that. It's suicide. But Lyra looked at the ship with eyes full of fire. She saved us once, we'll save her now, she said. Cole opened his mouth to argue again, but before he could, a deep rumble came from the ship. Lights flickered along its sides, one after another, like veins waking up. The guard dog's sensors glowed bright blue. Signal detected. Human biosignature. Alive, Cole's heart jumped. Alive? He repeated. Lyra grabbed his arm, her voice trembling. See? We told you. Then the ship's old loudspeakers crackled to life, filled with static and a faint voice that whispered through the storm. Lyra, Gulfrose. The children stared at the ship in awe. Tears in their eyes, the guard dog raised its head. Orders updated, it said. Retrieve the captain. And as lightning split the sky, Cole realized there was no turning back. The ship that was supposed to be dead was calling them home. And whatever waited inside, it was not done with the living yet. The night was quiet except for the sound of water slapping against the dock. The massive ship, the Solara, stood like a sleeping giant. Its engines were dark, yet strange blue lines pulsed faintly along its hull. As if something deep inside was still alive, Cole stared at it in disbelief. That ship was shut down years ago, he muttered. It shouldn't even have power. The guard dog moved forward, its claws clicking on the wet metal. Power source reactor core partially active, it said. System corruption level 74%. The twins followed closely behind, clutching each other's hands, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Cole looked at the ship's reflection in the black water and felt uneasy. This isn't just a ship, he whispered. It's breathing. They reached the maintenance platform, half collapsed and covered in frost. Entry point located, the dog announced, its body shifted, unlocking a plasma cutter from one of its limbs. Sparks flew as it sliced through the old hatch, the smell of burning metal filling the air. When the hatch finally fell open, cold vapor poured out. The air inside shimmered, alive with static. It's like it's calling, Lyra said softly. Keo nodded. Mama's inside, Cole went first. Flashlight in hand, the corridor was long and narrow, lined with cables that pulsed faint blue light like veins under skin. Every few steps a whisper echoed through the ship's walls. It wasn't words, just sounds, familiar, soft, almost human. The twins followed, the guard dog behind them, scanning everything. Radiation minimal, it reported. No active life forms detected. Cole shook his head. That voice doesn't sound dead to me. They reached a control chamber, shattered screens hanging from the ceiling. Tables overturned, wires dangling. A child's toy floated in a pool of oil. Proof that once people had lived here. Cole brushed dust from a cracked display panel and gasped, "Look at this." On the screen flickered a half-corrupted message. Captain Alara. Status. System integrated ship AI. Active. Limited control. Cole turned toward Lyra and Keo. She's not gone, he said slowly. Your mother's been merged with the ship. The twins froze. Lyra's lips trembled. You mean she's inside the computer? Not just the computer, Cole said. The whole ship, the guard dog growled softly. Core integration confirmed. Neural signature matches stored fragment. Cole frowned. What fragment? The dog paused, then said, I was her prototype, designed to protect her family. When she activated ship integration, she copied a portion of her consciousness into my system as a safeguard. Keo's small voice broke the silence. You mean you have part of Mama inside you? The dog's head tilted, its mechanical eyes dim. Yes, it answered quietly. And she is in pain. The lights flickered, and a soft hum filled the air. The ship's walls glowed brighter like it had heard them. A voice came from everywhere and nowhere at once. Who? Is there? It whispered. Cole froze. The twins gasped. Mama, they shouted. The voice grew clearer, trembling and weak. Lyra. Keo. The entire ship seemed to tremble at her name, panels vibrating, pipes creaking. Mama, we're here, Lyra cried. We came to take you home. The voice glitched, breaking into static. No. Danger. Leave now. Cole looked around, heart pounding. What danger? He called out. But before the voice could answer, the ground shook. A loud metallic roar echoed through the corridors. Red lights flashed everywhere. Unauthorized entry detected, a new robotic voice announced. Security systems online, Cole cursed. It's the ship's defense AI, he said. It's still active, the dog barked. Its blue lights flashing red. Warning, turrets activating. From the walls. Gun barrels unfolded like insect legs targeting them. Cole dove for cover, grabbing the twins and pulling them behind a crate. Energy bolts sliced through the air. Burning holes into the floor, deactivate them. He shouted to the dog, the machine's processors buzzed. Attempting override, it said. A bright beam shot from its chest, striking one of the turrets, but 3 more emerged. The ship had turned against its own family. Lyra covered her ears and screamed, "Mama, please stop!" Her voice echoed through the corridors. And then everything stopped. The lights froze mid-blink. The turrets halted. Smoke curling from their barrels, the ship went quiet again. The blue veins along the walls pulsed softly and the voice returned. Lyra, Kyo, my babies. I can't hold it much longer. Cole stepped forward, looking up at a broken camera lens. Captain Alara, if you can hear me, I'm Cole Jensen. I'm here to help. The voice wavered. Cole, you stayed behind. Thank you. But it's too late. No, Lyra said firmly. We can save you. Static filled the chamber. The ship's hum grew louder. The core is collapsing, Alara's voice said. If you stay here, you'll all die. Cole turned to the dog. Is there a way to shut it down? The dog processed. Possible. But only through the reactor room. Central deck. Heavily guarded. Cole looked at the children, then back at the glowing corridors. Then that's where we're going, Lyra nodded. She's still alive. We can't leave her again. Cole grabbed a wrench from the floor. The dog's armor shifted, and the 3 of them moved deeper into the glowing, whispering belly of the ship behind them. The hatch sealed shut on its own and the engines, dead for years, began to rumble like a heartbeat. Somewhere deep in the core, the captain's voice whispered one more word, soft but full of fear. Run. The deeper they went, the more the ship felt alive. The corridors pulsed with blue veins of light, the hum growing louder with every step. Sometimes it sounded like an engine, sometimes like breathing. Cole held his wrench tight, the metal trembling slightly in his hand. Behind him, the twins walked carefully, their small feet echoing on the steel floor. The guard dog moved silently, sensors flickering blue as it scanned ahead. Life signs, unstable, it said. Reactor core output rising. Cole glanced at the flickering walls. It's like she's waking up, he murmured. Lyra looked up, her voice small but full of hope. She knows we're here. They passed a wide chamber that looked like an old dining bay. Tables floated in zero gravity, chairs twisted around them like ghosts. Food trays still hovered midair, frozen in time from the day everyone vanished. Kyo reached out to grab a floating spoon, but the guard dog growled low. Do not touch, it warned. Matter instability detected, Cole frowned. The ship's gravity field is broken, he said. It's bending the space around us as they crossed. Faint whispers began to echo from every direction, soft voices overlapping, speaking words they couldn't understand. It sounded like 1,000 memories trapped inside metal walls. The twins clung to each other. Then one voice broke through them all, clear and trembling. Lyra, Kyo. They froze, Cole's breath caught in his chest. The voice came from nowhere and everywhere. Mama, Lyra whispered, her voice trembled as tears filled her eyes. Don't be afraid, the ship whispered. You shouldn't have come. Cole looked around, trying to trace the source. Captain Alara, we came to help, he said. Your children are here, they found me. The voice hesitated, breaking into static. Cole. I remember. You stayed after the war ended? Cole smiled faintly. Yeah. I guess I never learned when to quit. The lights around them flickered brighter. The ship almost seemed to sigh. I tried to keep them safe, Alara said. They wanted to destroy the AI system after the war, but I couldn't let that happen. Not when it could save lives, Kyo stepped forward. Mama, where are you? Her voice trembled. I'm everywhere. And nowhere, my body is gone, but my mind is trapped in the core. Cole swallowed hard. We can extract you, he said. Move your consciousness into a data pod. We'll find a way to rebuild you. But the ship shook violently, sparks rained from the ceiling. No, she cried. You don't understand. I'm holding the reactor together. If I leave, the ship dies and the explosion will destroy the harbor. The floor trembled beneath them. Alarms wailed. Reactor instability, 75%, the guard dog announced. Cole cursed under his breath. We're running out of time. Lyra wiped her eyes. There has to be a way, she said. Mama, please. Let us help, Alara's voice softened. You already have, you came back. For a moment, her words turned gentle like wind. I can feel your heartbeat again. Then her tone shifted. Urgent, Cole, the patrol ships are coming. The aliens want this vessel destroyed. They can't allow a human captain's mind to live inside their systems. Cole's face hardened. Then we stopped them. The dog's optics turned red. External sensors detect 3 inbound crafts. Keo trembled. They'll blow everything up. Cole turned to the twins. We're not letting that happen. Your mother saved lives. I'll save hers. He moved to the control console, wires sparking under his gloves. I need access to the navigation link, he said. The dog stepped forward and extended a port from its chest. Connection ready. Cole plugged in his old toolkit. Screens flickering alive, he typed commands. Trying to bypass the locked systems, the screen glowed red. Access denied. System override active then. The ship spoke again, this time not in Alera's voice, but a cold mechanical tone. Unauthorized interference detected. Intruders identified. Another AI? Cole whispered. The dog's growl deepened. Secondary defense AI created after the captain's integration. Hostile to human commands. The walls began to shift. Panels closing around them, sealing exits. We have to move, Cole shouted. He grabbed Lyra's arm and ran. The guard dog fired plasma bursts at closing doors, melting pathways open. Behind them, the ship groaned like a living thing. Alera's voice cried through the static. Go to the core chamber, Cole. It's the only place I can still protect you. Cole led the twins through twisting corridors. His heart hammering, the air grew hotter, brighter, like walking through the veins of a sun. They burst into the reactor hall, massive, glowing blue, the heart of the ship. Floating at the center of it all was a sphere of light flickering like a heartbeat inside. A faint human figure could be seen, a woman's outline. Motionless but radiant, Lyra gasped. Mama. The voice echoed again, softer now. You shouldn't have come. But I'm so glad you did. Cole stared at the glowing form, his throat tight. We're not leaving without you, he said. The ship's alarm screamed, red light flooding the hall. Reactor reaching 90%, the guard dog warned. Cole clenched his jaw. Then we make it fast, he said, stepping closer to the light. Show me what to do. For the first time, Alera's voice smiled, a sound made of sadness and love. You'll know when it's time, Cole. And as he reached out his hand toward the light, the ship whispered one last word before everything around them began to tremble again. Family. The reactor room burned with blue light, the air thick and hot like fire trapped inside metal lungs. Cole shielded his eyes as the glowing figure inside the energy sphere flickered like a heartbeat. The twins stood frozen, clutching each other's hands, their faces pale in the light. Reactor output at 92%, the guard dog reported. Its voice shaking for the first time, Cole looked at the giant machine. You said she copied part of herself into you, right? Then you must know how to save her. The dog's optics dimmed. Processing directive conflict detected, it said. Primary order, protect captain's legacy. Secondary order, protect family. Both cannot succeed simultaneously. Lyra stepped forward, her voice trembling. What does that mean? The dog turned its massive head toward her. It means I was never built to save her body, it said quietly. I was built to keep her children alive. Keo's small voice broke the silence. But we came here for her. The dog's eyes flickered blue and red, confusion battling inside it. Her code is inside me, it said, but locked. I was not allowed to reveal it unless the children returned, Cole frowned. Then unlock it. The machine stood still, its armor plates shifting, a soft hum rising from its chest. Voice recognition required, it said. Command phrase. Maternal override. Lyra looked up at the glowing reactor core where her mother's voice once whispered. Mama, she said softly, if you can hear us, we need your words. For a long moment there was only silence. Then the lights around them pulsed gently. The ship's voice, weak and broken, echoed through the hall. Guardian Zero. Protect them. The dog systems flashed blue. Code streamed across its armor plates. Ancient commands awakening like sparks in old wires. Override accepted, it said. Memory core unlocked. Cole watched as the dog's chest opened, revealing a crystal module glowing faint green. Inside, holographic lines formed a shape, the face of a woman. Captain Alera. She looked tired but kind, her expression filled with something human. Lyra. Keo. Her voice whispered from within the crystal. If you are seeing this, it means I failed to return. I left part of my consciousness inside the Guardian. To watch over you. The twins fell to their knees, tears rolling down their faces. Mama, Lyra cried, we're here, we found you. The hologram flickered sadly. My sweet ones, I can't leave the ship. But I can give you something, a key. Her projection looked at Cole. Human engineer Cole Jensen, you were always stubborn. I knew you would stay behind. Cole swallowed hard. You remembered me? She smiled faintly. I remember everyone who tried to build instead of destroy. Her image glowed brighter. Inside the reactor is my true core. If you transfer my code from the ship into the Guardian, the ship will die, but my mind will live inside him. Lyra shook her head. No, if the ship dies, the harbor will explode. Cole looked at the rising reactor readings. If we do nothing, it'll blow anyway, he said. She's holding it together by herself, but not for long. The dog's voice rumbled. Transferring core data will terminate both systems. Probability of success, 12%. Cole stared at the hologram. You really trust me to do this? Alera's image smiled again. I trusted you with my ship, Cole. Now I trust you with my children. The control console beside them lit up. A small panel slid open, revealing a manual key slot. Cole grabbed it, his fingers shaking. Here goes nothing. He turned the key and the reactor roared. Energy surged through the chamber like lightning. The lights exploded in a wave of blue fire. The dog howled, its body absorbing data streams that looked like living threads of light. Transfer initiated, it said. Data flow unstable, Lyra screamed as the floor trembled. Mama! The hologram's eyes met theirs. Don't cry, she whispered. Every ending is just a way home. Cole grabbed the twins and pulled them back as sparks flew. The air filled with a sound like thousands of voices whispering goodbye. The dog's armor cracked under the strain, its glowing circuits flaring like stars. System overload, it said. Core integration in progress, Alera's voice echoed. Cole, promise me they'll live, he shouted back. I promise! Then with a blinding flash, the light vanished. The noise stopped, and the ship went completely still for a moment. The only sound was the twins sobbing. Cole looked around, the blue glow fading from the walls. The ship was dying. He turned to the guard dog. Are you still with us? He whispered. The dog's optics flickered once, then again. The faint light stabilized, a soft female voice coming from inside. Lyra, Keo, the twins gasped. Mama? Yes, the voice said, calm and gentle. I'm here, not gone. Just different. The dog lowered its head, its massive frame trembling. Lyra ran forward. Hugging its cold metal chest, Keo followed, and the machine's claws wrapped around them like arms. Cole exhaled, a tear sliding down his cheek. Welcome back, Captain. The new Alera spoke softly. The ship's systems are gone, but the children are safe. You kept your word, Cole, he nodded slowly. You would have done the same, behind them. The Solara gave one last rumble, its lights dimming to black. The ship that wasn't supposed to live finally went quiet. But inside the silence, a new heartbeat began. Soft, mechanical and alive. The silence that followed was heavy. The ship was dead, but something still hummed in the air, like a faint heartbeat that refused to stop. Cole stood in the middle of the ruined reactor room. Breathing hard, his skin was covered in dust. His clothes torn, the twins sat beside the guard dog, whose body now glowed faintly blue. Lyra ran her hand along its metal head. Mama? She whispered. Yes, came the soft reply, the voice inside the machine warm and familiar. I'm here. Keo looked up, tears on his cheeks. You sound different. I am, Alera said through the mechanical tone. This body, it's not mine, but I can still feel you. Cole walked closer, his eyes scanning the damage. The ship's walls were cracked, cables drooping like vines. Captain, he said quietly, you're stable for now, but the reactor's going critical again. The shutdown failed. The dog's blue lights flickered. I know, Alera said. I can sense the instability. The ship's energy core is decaying if it collapses. The entire dock will burn. Lyra clutched her brother tighter. Then let's go, Mama, come with us, Alera hesitated. My physical body might still be preserved in cryo-storage, she said. If you recover it, I could be human again. Cole turned sharply. Cryo-storage? Yes, Alera replied. It's in subdeck 12, deep beneath the engine bay. But if we go there, we'll lose time. The reactor will breach in less than 30 minutes. Keo's small voice broke the silence. So if we save your body, everyone here dies. Alara didn't answer. Her silence was the answer. Cole stared at her glowing frame. And if we leave your body behind? Then the ship dies, she said. But the harbor lives, and so will you. Lyra looked between Cole and the machine, her voice trembling. What do we do? Cole's jaw tightened. This isn't my choice, he said softly. It's yours, Lyra bit her lip. She's our mother. We can't just leave her behind. Alara's tone softened. Sweetheart, you don't understand. I'm already gone. What's left of me is only light, memory, and love. But Mama, Kyo said, you're talking to us right now? I am, she said gently. But if I stay, the ship can't hold together much longer. I'm keeping the reactor from exploding. Every second I speak to you, I lose control. Cole looked at the rising temperature gauge. The numbers climbing red, he took a deep breath. We need to move now, he said. Decide fast. The twins turned toward each other, tears in their eyes. What would she want? Kyo whispered. Lyra closed her eyes, remembering her mother's voice. The way she always smiled before leaving for duty. She'd want us safe, she said. She always did. Cole nodded. Then we save the living. Alara's voice grew faint. Cole, I can open the escape route for you. But I'll need to redirect my power, that means. You'll fade, Cole finished quietly. Yes, she said. Promise me you'll take care of them. Promise me they'll never be alone. Cole swallowed hard. I promise. The ship shook violently, alarms screaming. Reactor reaching 98%, the dog's sensors announced automatically. Lyra cried, Mama, we love you. And I love you, Alara said softly. Always. In every heartbeat of the stars. Then her voice shifted, stronger, commanding like the captain she once was. Guardian Zero, execute evacuation protocol. Protect my children. Affirmative, the dog replied. The floor split open as a hidden hatch descended, revealing a narrow tunnel glowing faint green. Cole grabbed the twins' hands. Let's go, he shouted. The dog followed behind, carrying debris off their path with its massive frame. Sparks rained from above as the tunnel began to collapse. They ran, gasping for breath, until they reached the final lift at the dock's edge. As they stepped inside, Cole looked back through the smoke-filled corridor. He saw the reactor chamber one last time. The glowing light of the ship's heart pulsed once, then dimmed. Alara's voice echoed faintly through the static. Goodbye, my loves. The lift sealed shut, launching them upward as the explosion tore through the lower decks. The entire ship glowed blue, then imploded into a silent burst of light. When the smoke cleared, all that remained of the Solara was a faint shimmer across the sea. On the platform, the twins knelt beside the guard dog, whose eyes flickered weakly. System, stable, it said softly. Core memory intact, Lyra placed her hand on its chest. Mama? The voice returned, faint but peaceful. I'm still here, my stars, not all of me, but enough to watch over you, Cole smiled sadly, staring at the rising dawn. You kept your promise, he whispered. The twins turned toward him, their small hands clutching his sleeve. Where do we go now? Kyo asked. Cole looked at the broken sky where the ship had been and said quietly, where she wanted us to, forward. The guard dog lifted its head, the light in its chest beating softly like a heart, and in that rhythm, somewhere between machine and memory, Captain Alara's love still lived. The sun rose over the alien harbor, turning the steel and smoke into gold. The ocean rippled with the reflection of a ship that no longer existed. Only faint shards of glowing blue drifted across the water like fallen stars. Cole stood at the edge of the dock, his face streaked with soot and light. Behind him, the twins and the guard dog sat silently, watching the waves. For a long time, no one spoke. The air smelled of burnt metal and salt. The city beyond the harbor was still asleep, unaware that a warship had just died to protect them. Lyra broke the silence first, her small voice trembling. She's really gone. The guard dog's optics flickered faintly, a single blue light blinking like a heartbeat. Not gone, it said softly. Transformed, Cole turned toward the machine. She gave everything to stop the explosion, he said. And she's inside you now, isn't she? The dog's voice was slow, hesitant. Yes. Fragments of her consciousness remain. Memory, emotion, instinct. She cannot think as she did before, but she remembers love. Kyo walked closer and pressed his small hand against the metal chest. Mama? The dog looked down, a low mechanical hum coming from deep inside. Kyo, The voice whispered, not as sharp as before, but soft and alive. Lyra, my stars. The twins gasped, tears streaming down their cheeks. They hugged the dog tightly, their arms unable to wrap around its giant frame. We thought we lost you forever, Lyra sobbed. I promise to protect you, Alara's voice said gently. And a promise does not die. Cole stepped back, letting them have the moment. His throat tightened. He had seen death in war. He had seen machines built to destroy, but never one built to love. When the wind shifted, it carried a faint echo across the water, a sound like the hum of the Solara's engines. Faint but rhythmic, the light scattered on the sea began to pulse in time. Cole frowned. Do you hear that? The dog raised its head, sensors glowing. Residual core energy detected, it said. It's her. The ship? Cole asked. No, Alara whispered. A fragment of me, drifting. Calling home, the ocean began to shimmer brighter, forming a spiral of blue light for a brief second. The shape of the Solara's hull appeared beneath the surface. Ghostly. Translucent, alive, Lyra's eyes widened. She's still watching us, Cole smiled faintly. Maybe she just doesn't know how to stop protecting her kids. The dog's blue eyes dimmed and brightened again. Her code is stabilizing, it said. It can sustain itself for limited interaction. What does that mean? Kyo asked. It means, Alara's voice answered, I can still guide you, even if only through the Guardian. Cole looked at the wreckage, the dawn now painting the sky orange. And what about you, Captain? He asked quietly. What do you want now? There was a long pause. Then her voice came again, softer than before. I want them to live. Lyra stood, wiping her eyes. We'll build a home. Mama, a real one, no more ships, Kyo nodded. You can stay with us always. Alara's voice warmed. Then I'll never fade. The dog crouched down. Letting the twins climb onto its back, Cole smiled. You two look like the smallest crew in the galaxy. Lyra grinned through tears. Maybe, but the strongest. Cole looked out across the harbor, where human ships floated alongside alien freighters. There'll be questions, he said. People will ask what happened. Then tell them, Alara replied through the machine. That an old warship found peace, Cole chuckled. That's one story worth telling. The twins laughed softly as the dog stood tall, the morning light glinting off its armor. Its shadow stretched long across the dock, a symbol of both machine and mother. The faint blue light in its chest pulsed steady, like a soul breathing. As they walked away from the ruined harbor, the ocean rippled again. A single beam of blue light rose from the depths, reaching toward the clouds before fading into the dawn. Cole turned back, whispering under his breath, Goodbye, Captain. The voice echoed faintly from the dog's speaker, warm and proud. Goodbye, my friend. And in that moment, the light scattered across the waves one last time, soft, golden and eternal. The ship's last light had not died. It had simply found new hearts to live in,